what you talking about. This one's with that. That's what she said. She said, say less. Say less. 'Cause you already got me, baby. Say less. Say less. Talking's only slowing us down. Say less.
I'm a gentleman, baby, and a dog with a bite. I just wanna nibble on your night. So sentimental when I step in the middle. When I do a little dance till it turns daylight. So jump in a moment. Margella got me feeling iconic. And if you can't groove, she don't want it. Great sex, say less.
Baby, what you talking about? This was something else with that. That's what she said. She said, say less. Say less. 'Cause you already got me, baby. Say less. Say less. Talking's only slowing us down. Say less.
Stop the moment you walking. You let your hips do the talking. You leaving me ain't no options. Say less, say less. Stop the room when you walking. You let your hips do the talking. You leaving me with no options. Say less, say less, say less.
Say less.
Here we go again. Ready?
Keep the back
Yeah.
walking.
Money talks, what the is he saying? You can ask his then ask his who's the man. Bro, them get the steppin' like parades about them bands. My little Tinkerbell, cause I'm fly as Peter Pan. Yeah, let's go, get some money, they playin'. Hopped up out this Cybertruck, my wrist cost a lamb. I'm tired of buying cars to my driveway jam. The neighbors still trying to figure out who I am, who I be. To these weak. They say money talk, put diamonds in my teeth. I be Louis down with Jordans on my feet. Messed up in your yard like trick or treat. You better play your cards right, you better not ever reach. For this chain over here, I underneath. Yeah, I ripped that 5, but I 6 feet deep. Let's go, 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 let's go.
I picked up, let's go. She had too much fun. I think she got too motor in the trunk. Up out the roof. That got a. I think she lost one shoe. Gang the truth. I told her, oh my F's, you got the juice. I pulled up at her friend's house and kicked her out the coupe. Gave that the boot. Bye bye. Yeah, she. Untamed gorilla.
Today, from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, this is the National Football League. We'll see Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers taking on Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and off we go from Lambeau. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a first-round pick in the 2020 draft out of Utah State. This is Jordan Love.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line.
Okay, he didn't bring that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Love looking to throw it. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And good coverage there by the punt team. They're able to get down there and drop him with authority. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
You want to talk about a driven player partner. This guy is absolutely that person. He doesn't just have goals in this game. He wants to be remembered among the best to play the position, and he treats every game as an audition for that. It's a lofty goal to set for yourself, but we've seen his drive lead to some impressive games from him. Perhaps another one is in store today.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down. Looking to pass. Tua. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Quay Walker. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. They'll have very good starting field position here after the turnover as they search for the first points of the ball game. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
So from the 25, this is 2nd and 5. Musgrave's got it out right. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Off the play fake, Love. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So pass interference to call. That's going to set him up with a 1st down.
And if it's a bang-bang play, maybe the flag stays in the official's pocket, but instead, he definitely impeded the receiver's right to catch the football. The officials letting the players know how the game's going to be called here in the 1st quarter.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that'll set up 2nd and goal. A line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has a better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go and see what happens.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Josh Jacobs taking it in from a yard out. And the Packers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 7-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. So Miami coming out for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
On the ground, this is Devon Achane. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So into Packer territory. Now here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 10. Waddle, the motion man, right. Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around. And a short gain down to about the 33. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
This one thrown underneath to Achane. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers 16. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Run straight ahead with Achane. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Tua going to throw. They set up the screen. Achane has it. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. He's got Smith here. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Achane is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
If you're going to keep these guys out of the end zone, you've got to be able to commit to stopping the run, and that's a nice job there getting the safeties involved in run support.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They were so close, that close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
Mostert is into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. No, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, they looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4 fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And able to get this out to the 25. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Love's throw brought in by Watson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays, because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Jordan Brooks with it. And the Dolphins are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. But when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
The Dolphins' offense now heads back on the field. They'll have good field position at midfield following the turnover as they start with a first down here. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. After the turnover, it's Tua. This is Smith with a grab. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Achane on 1st and 10. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Tua wants to throw it on 2nd down. Short throw to Smith. And down inside the 15 he goes. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there.
Achane hit, and the ball is out. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. Tagovailoa to throw on 2nd down here. That's out to Hill, right side complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now this incomplete, and I don't see any flags coming out. He was clearly in the pocket, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, and that brings up 4th down. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins have taken the lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal. And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board. Well, another drive coming up for this Packers offense. And you figure, Charles, they have enough time here in the first half, more than a minute, to put a drive together, at least get them in position to try a field goal. Yeah, they've got all 3 timeouts at their disposal, so I'm actually thinking bigger. With those 3 timeouts, that amount of time on the clock, I'm thinking about trying to get a touchdown and settle for a field goal. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise. Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. The Love's throw finds its target, Dobbs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. On play action, Love to throw. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. That's caught inside the 20. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Love. Steps away to his left. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. They were in a very good position to come up with a go-ahead score there. A really good drive. Instead, it turns into 6 points going the other way. Psychologically, I don't know what that's going to do to them. So as a coach, you're looking at that as at least a 10-point swing, right? Because they had the field goal in their back pocket. They certainly did, and you're right. At least a 10-point swing, maybe more. Sanders now to add the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you gotta expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
On first down, Tagovailoa. He'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Well, again, plenty of time to sit in the pocket and deliver the football. And while the offensive linemen, they may be nameless and faceless to a lot of people, they certainly aren't to their teammates who are the skill position guys. They appreciate the heck out of them, and they're capitalizing.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Tua now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And they'll get this down to the 10. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill on the touchdown pass from Tua. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Packers now, they get set for their first possession of half number 2. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Love, they go play action now. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. First down, Love to pass. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Running it with Jacobs. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Jacobs, and he is going to lose yardage here. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs, and he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the Packers get a bit closer.
Ah, what a luxury it is to be able to call a bowling ball like Josh Jacobs down near the goal line. 5'10", 220 pounds, and he's not afraid to get in there and get the tough yards. He finishes off this drive with a touchdown run.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. It's up and good, so they claw back into it, 24-14 now. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Tua and the rest of the Dolphin offense heading back out. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter and continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time?
They were really good on the last drive. Green Bay, Wisconsin is the spot. 3rd quarter inside Lambeau. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10. Meanwhile, Tua's throw there taken in by Smith. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Tua. Short throw to Smith. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 4. Tua sets up to pass it. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Braxton Berrios, 58 yards. And the Dolphins use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Sanders on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Nixon now from his end zone. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, and that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 53 yards.
To get back in this ball game, big plays are going to be necessary. And here's one right on cue. Coming up with 3 scores here in the 4th is not going to be an easy task, but that's good work there to bite off a chunk of yards.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And he's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
This 2nd and 4. Play fake. Here's Love. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. And the Packers are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. A 3-score game here late. You could probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral.
And the second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. Josh Jacobs taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Packers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. All right, so this one not quite over yet. Back to a 2-score game, CD.
Yeah, and you've still got 4+ minutes to go, so when you think about comebacks, it's happened before. Now, it hasn't happened often, but you've got to think to yourself, let's be the next great comeback story and play this one out.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Open man downfield is Hill. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. Sanders now to add the extra point. For 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Green Bay about set for another series. Here comes Romeo Doubs. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
75 yards for him on the ground now, and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action this time with Love. That's taken in by Kraft. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
On 1st and 10, Love. Well, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Here's Jacobs from the gun, and nothing much Mets in.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now a 2nd down throw for Love here. Steps away. That's going to be caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Luke Musgrave, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Packers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. The 4th quarter touchdown there, back to a 2-score game, but time is not their ally.
No, it's not, partner. They still have a pulse, but it's probably a little weak right now. A lot of things have to go right in these final 2 minutes plus for them. I think they have to be thinking onside kick here, and we know how difficult those are to recover.
Now McManus for the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Brought down that time by Quay Walker. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. On second down, a run by Achane. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 3rd and 9 here. Tagovailoa looking to throw it. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Now Love. That's complete to Dobbs. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. This to Jacobs on the toss right. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Love. And he is caught. And he takes this one into the end zone. And all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
McManus now for the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now. A drive there of just 4 plays. And that drive all capped off with a Romeo Doubs touchdown. So the clock shows 55 seconds to play as they line up for a critical onside kick. And
the Dolphins are indeed going to get this, and that should all but do it. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Achane here. They stay on the ground. First down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll go. Achane. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Penalties not what they needed here. 1st and 15. One last shot now for Love. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Lambeau.